You don't even know, Joe. That was half of Dylan.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Listography. Jason, Joe, and Kramzer just completed our Bruce Springsteen studio album rankings. Put that video out yesterday, and today we are talking about our favorite Bruce Springsteen songs. We're each going to give you our 10 favorites. Kram started out the record ranking. You want to start us off on the songs, Joe?
Sure, I'd love to, Jason. My 10 songs are basically all from the same albums, so be that as it may, I just really like a couple of these albums more than others. My number 10 is going to be Incident on 57th Street, just a kind of big epic production. E Street Band really kind of gets to show off what they can do, which I like. That's kind of what I gravitate towards in Bruce's catalog. Number 9, I got Night for Born to Run. I feel like every one of his songs should start off with a Clarence Clemens sax solo, like this one does, and I think it's probably the most underrated track on the album. Number 8, kind of the same style, maybe as Incident on 57th Street, Kitty's Back from The Wild, the Innocent, and the E Street Shuffle. Everybody gets a turn on this one. There's the whole band really kind of gets to prove what it can do. Great swing to it. Just awesome performances. Hard rocking. Number 7, I got Backstreets, kind of like a counterpoint to Born to Run, really sort of, focusing on like a small town friendship. Kind of got that organ reminiscent of Bob Dylan, but I like it better than Bob Dylan because I like Bruce better than Bob. Number 6, Candy's Room from Darkness on the Edge of Town, kind of sonically unique as far as everything he had written before this. Got that really kind of cool drumming before it kind of explodes into, some really hard rocking stuff. I think it's about a prostitute, I believe. Number 5, I got Badlands, kind of like Backstreets and Jungle Land. It's kind of coming from the same feel, same kind of bruciness, just the epic storytelling of a man, who wants to rise above how he was born and where he was born and, his stature. A really great arrangement pretty much throughout, hard rocking, good piano, just another whole band performance, which is pretty much all of my top 10 songs have that kind of same, feel. Number 4, I have Cover Me from Born in the USA, which was actually written or was supposed to go to Donna Summer, which I don't even know how that would work, but Bruce had this kind of penchant early in his career for giving away his hits. Nice solo in it. Just a great vocal performance as well. Number 3, Prove It All Night. I love the sax solo into the kind of snarling guitar solo, which he does, I think, opposite a couple times, but I think this is the first time that he does this sax into the guitar. And it's just, why doesn't he do that kind of thing more? I want to hear more of that. Number 2 and number 1 are going to be from Born to Run, the 2 best songs on that, and I think easily his 2 best songs. Number 2, Born to Run, completely encompasses what I think about when I think of Bruce Springsteen. The sax and the epic storytelling and the, just impassioned vocals. Everything that makes Bruce Bruce is in this song. And number 1, Thunder Road. If you watched our Bruce Springsteen listography, I kind of talked about it there a little more in detail, but I just think it's his best storytelling. I think the word choices, the image he creates with his lyrics is by far his best. The arrangement with the piano intro kind of building and building and building and then kind of explodes in this triumphant manner. It's one of my favorite all-time songs. I think it's one of the best written songs of all time. And just pretty much a perfect song from Born to Run.
All right. I was someone who has been into his deep cuts and his entire catalog for a long time. I look at my top 10 and I'm pretty surprised I have as many hits as I do. I thought it would end up being a lot more kind of unknowns and deeper stuff, like I said, but it's not as much as I thought. So my number 10 is going to be from Nebraska, Atlantic City. Although Jason knows what I'm talking about here, there's a version by a guy named Ed Harcourt, which is even better. Maybe my favorite cover of any song of all time, but this version is still really good. And I do think this is his best, just straight up lyrical song. I could just read this song from a piece of paper and be like, wow, that's pretty cool. I think it's just awesome. Number 9 is going to be from Tunnel of Love, Tougher Than the Rest. This is more kind of the perfect sound on this album. It's 80s soft rock, poppy, country, and the rest of the album is really mature and focused and has some, pretty adult oriented ideas of relationships. But this coming at the beginning of the album is kind of just like this more juvenile setup where it's kind of him just kind of peacocking and bragging about how he would be the better romantic partner. And then the album that kind of sets up the rest of the album really good, and it's a good listen. Number 8, not on any album, going to be Streets of Philadelphia. I just really love it. I think it's really restrained and poignant and nuanced and just really well written. Number 7 off Darkness of the Edge of Town is going to be Something in the Night. Love the arrangements and just the glockenspiel bells at the beginning, and then it just kind of opens up, and it's really just about this feeling of like going out one night and feeling like anything could happen. It's just got a really cool vibe. Number 6 is going to be Dancing in the Dark. It's a really good pop song. I think his vocals are great. I love when he says, I ain't nothing but tired, and it's just really catchy and awesome. Number 5 is going to be Born to Run. Joe nailed it. It's just this big, dramatic, passionate song. The guitar sounds really cool, and there's really good down, broken little arrangements by the band behind him. Number 4 is going to be The River. I think the acoustic guitar just sounds really good in the studio, and the harmonica is great, and I think it's just kind of crafted together perfectly. It's got those little piano lifts in between verses and just awesome. Number 3 for me is going to be Thunder Road. I love it. Not as much as Joe, but I get it. Number 2, I've got Stolen Car off The River. Really quiet. It's got, and my number 1 has probably my favorite thing about the E Street Band and Bruce's arrangements and production is that twinkly piano keys and touches he does, and it just accents Stolen Car, which is a really well-written song kind of about reflecting on a relationship that didn't work and maybe feeling guilt about it, and with the story of I feel like every night I'm out in a stolen car and I just want to be caught, but I never am. It's great. And then number 1 for me is a large part just because of that piano, and then just the Bruce cadence and delivery of the vocal style that only he could do, where it's almost like he's making fun of himself in the future. Like, this is what I used to sound like, is She's the One. Just a fantastic song. Love She's the One. Beautiful and awesome. The piano is great and well written. Those are the 10. I had to leave off some tough ones, but I feel like it's a solid 10.
All right, top 10 Bruce Springsteen songs. So as we talked about in the listography video, I am the probably least big Bruce Springsteen fan of the 3 of us, but there were still a lot of songs in contention. I had a pretty long list that I had to whittle down. Kind of a mix of bigger hits and some lesser known tracks. Number 10 for me, as I mentioned, a song sneaking in from Lucky Town. I was listening to those early 90s records, and this song really kind of took me by surprise. I really, really liked it. If I Should Fall Behind. I think it's a great piece of songwriting. Number 9 from Born in the USA, I've got Cover Me. It's my favorite track from that record easily. Just really awesome rockin' tune. Number 8, I've got Out in the Streets, great track from The River. Number 7, I have Streets of Fire, really good track from my favorite Bruce record, Darkness on the Edge of Town. Another Darkness track at number 6, I've got Factory, just classic Bruce storytelling on that track. Number 5, for a long time, was probably my favorite Bruce song. I've got 10th Avenue Freeze Out. Number 4, I've got The River, really good track. Great storytelling again. Number 3, Born to Run. Very anthemic. Another good story song, but with really great arrangement on this track. Probably maybe his best arrangement ever. Number 2, I've got The Promised Land from Darkness on the Edge of Town. Just an awesome track. Really great. But my number 1 favorite, Cram mentioned it, it's Atlantic City. Talked in the listography video about how I didn't think some of the tracks on Nebraska were really good enough to stand on their own in that sort of stripped down manner. But this is an exception. This song is amazingly well written. It works in basically any environment. You can look up 100 covers of this track and I can guarantee you at least 99 of them are going to be good, because it's just such a good song. The version that Cram mentioned by Ed Harcourt is probably the best It's unbelievable. Everybody watching this video should go seek that track out because it's great. The band did a version of Atlantic City in their sort of weird 80s reunion years when they weren't really that good and their production on their records was pretty bad, and their version's amazing too. I think it's definitely Bruce's best song.
I'm surprised you didn't pick Secret Garden, Joe, from the Jerry Maguire soundtrack.
It was in the running. There's a lot I had to leave off. Streets of Philadelphia, I'm on Fire.
Some stuff off The Rising I wanted to get on there, but I couldn't get on.
I couldn't get anything off the new stuff. There was just too much off those early albums that I had to put on. So kind of, again, I always seem to leave off sort of the underground secret tracks. I always have the hits, although No Hungry Heart or Dancing in the Dark for me off my list. So
what do you guys think is his worst big hit?
Probably Glory Days.
No, I like Glory Days.
We like Glory Days because it mentions baseball.
Yeah.
I'd say Tunnel of Love. I'm not a big fan of that
I
song.
don't know that I'd call that a big hit, though.
No, I guess it's not a big hit, but yeah, it's not for me.
I like Tunnel of Love. I don't know. I think all of his hits are pretty good.
They
I
are.
can't think of any that I really. I mean, I don't love Born in the USA, but
It's Born in the USA for me.
probably Born in the USA. Actually, now that I think about it.
Yeah, you're probably right. But I still like it.
All right, guys, so let us know your favorite tracks below. And if you'd like, let us know what your least favorite tracks are, at least as your least favorite hits. Hit the like button, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. And for side 3 tomorrow, we're going to be talking about our favorite follow-up albums of all time. We will see you then.